Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to see one more component involved in the workflows, that is workflow diagram. So in the previous videos, we have just covered task definition, and we are going to cover workflow diagram in this video. So this is a workflow series. So you just follow this all these videos to understand the complete knowledge of this workflow. So in this video, to create a workflow diagram, you just navigate to the shared components. You just click on the shared components. So under the shared components, you just navigate to the workflows. So this is the place where we are going to create our workflows. You just click on this workflow. So now we don't have any workflows. This is the first time we are just going to create. So it will be blank. You just click on this create. So once you click on this create, we will get a one more page here. This is a workflow diagram page where we will be designing our workflows. So workflows is nothing but the process flow. For example, if you take a leave request, there will be different stages of the leave request. Like when the employee raise a leave request, then that is one stage. After that, that will be approved by their reporting manager, and then that will be approved by the next level manager. Then it will be approved by the HR. So these are the different stages. These stages we will be saying this is a process flow or the workflow. So that is the thing we are going to configure or for going to create in our Oracle Apex. So for that we are going to design that workflow in this Oracle Apex. So here once you created, you will get this workflow and diagram page. Here you need to design. So for this I am going to name, this is a place where you will be creating. I'm going to name, for example, we are going to use leave request. So this is a leave request and I'm going to make it as leave request, and static id is like leave request. This will uniquely identify this workflow static id. So under this we will have multiple versions. You can create multiple versions. Then under this workflow you can create multiple versions. So first we will be creating the version 1. So version 1.0, this is the first version of this workflow diagram. So on this we will have different stages like development stage and the production stage. Once you are just okay and you are just deploying in the production, then you can click on this activate, then it will be converted into the production stage. Once you activate it, you cannot able to modify this. In development stage only you can able to customize or you can able to edit this. So you just currently you just keep this. And once it is created, we will getting three options, that is three components. One is start. This is the starting point of this workflow. So once the workflow is started, then this is the starting mark. From this it will navigate to the next step. And end is that it will stop the workflow. So this is the end part of that thing. So once the we will have three components, one is start and end. This is mandatory for the workflow. Then in between you will have any other components. So here execute code is the one of the component. So there will be different types of activities. This we will say activity. So there will be different types of activity. So if you click on this type, you will get like execute code, human task, invoke api, invoke workflow, send email, push notification, switch wait. So there will be different types of activity. So based on your requirement you can select from here, or here you will get different types of things like human task, invoke api, invoke workflow. So everything, the switch, everything will be um, every components will be available. You can just drag and drop from here. For example, you can drag and drop here, you will get that. Otherwise you can just right click and you can create a new one. So if you don't want, you can just click and you can delete those things. So this is the workflow diagram editor. Here you will have the option for zoom in and zoom out. So you can either zoom in or zoom out. And this is like picture in mode and all these things, routing set a normal everything. So if you want, you can just click and you can just drag and drop these designs. So it will be dragged and drop. And this arrow we will say is a activity or the navigation path. We will say it's a activity from one to arrow. So we will say it's like a normal or error. Suppose if this is by default, we will get a normal. Suppose if any error occurred, then you can create a special type of arrow, that is error. And we will have two setup, that is from and to. From where it is coming, that is source, and to target we will be setting the target. From it is starting from the start, this is a start, and it is target is going to the activity, this is the activity. So this is the arrows. So these arrows will connect the activities between the flows. Then what we will see is we will see another thing is like human task create. So human task is like we in the previous video we have created a task definition. So that is the human task, that is the human, the manager will approve the leave or reject the leave, that is a human task. So to call that, we will be selecting that human task here. So this is the activity. Now we will be selecting this as a human task. So for that, go to the type, click select this human task create. So once it is selected, from this definition, if you already created those task definition, it will list down all the task definition. You just select this leave request. Once it is selected, then you will get the parameters. So in the previous video we seen one, for task definition you need to pass the parameters from the external source. Those parameters can be used within the task definition. Likewise here we will list, it will list on all the parameters what is available under the task definition. Currently we have employee number. You need to send the fix the employee number, either static value, item, expression, these things you can set this employee number. Currently I'm going to set 1 as a static value for a time being. So this is the parameters you need to pass. This is a human activity. You can name it as like approval or something, like a leave approval, or what are the name you want, you can set it. So once it is done, then human approval. So this is the task. We will be creating a task definition, we will just calling that. Likewise there is a switch. So switch is nothing but it will be like a switch case, or if we can say it as like a condition based, if else or what are the things, based on that it will change the path. So this is the switch. So using this switch you can mention this true false. You can check whether the either the true false or case statement, if else, what are the thing you want, you can just check. For true false, what we create is like, if the leave is like approved, then what it needs to go. If the leave is rejected, then what it needs to be done. That we are going to design. I'm going to design as switch case, like approve status, like that. I'm going to create approval status. So in the approval status, I'm going to check whether this task definition, that you leave request is approved or rejected. For that you need to create a connection. For creating a connection, you just click on this plus button. You will get a different menus. You just click on this create connection. Then you will get on one arrow. Then you just point this arrow to this switch. So once it is pointed, then it will be pointed. Otherwise you can just create, you just select normal, then from 1 to you can just create this. So this we are getting error since we are not configured properly. So we will be getting this error. You just leave. So like this you need to connect this, and here we need to mention the condition. So on what condition this should evaluate. So condition is like, we will be selecting different options like workflow variable and expression, rows written, not written. So different condition will be there. You need to specify the condition. For example, I'm going to create this workflow variable, and I'm going to select this variable. If this value equal to approved, then this value equal to approved, then it should be like true. If it is not approved, then it is false. If it is false, then I will be ending. I will create one more connection, and I will just connect to this end part. If it is approved, then I will create one more connection. That connection will be go to the next stage or next process. So likewise I need to define. So we will be using this human task, switch, most, and the execute code. So execute code is one more type, where you will be writing your PL SQL logic. Here you can write your PL SQL logics, like fetching the information, fetching the details, everything can be done in the PL SQL execute code using this. Mostly we will be using these three types commonly: this human task, and the switch, and the execute code. And in some cases you will be using other things like send email and everything, you can be using this. So now we will be seeing other types. In the leave request, you will be having different things. One is like a participant, and one more thing is variables. So variables is like the thing which will be using internally, that is a local variables which is respective to this versions. And this when you created, then it will be used within this application, within this workflows. This variables is like dynamic one. So in the later stage or in between stage, the variables can be updated or inserted like this. It can be changed, it is not a constant. And one more thing, you need to create a parameters. So how we created parameter for the task definition. Same the same ways you need to create a, for workflow also we need to create a parameters. The parameter is the one where we will get a data from the external source. Again, from the external source we will be getting the data to the workflow. From workflow we will be passing those data to the task definition, or we will be using internally. So this we need to create parameters, and we need to create a local variables. So parameter are the constant one which will not be changed. It will be getting the information at the initial stage when calling the workflow, and the local variables are the variables which will be updated frequently in the later stage. To create a parameter, click on this, right click, you will get a create versions or create parameter and duplicate. So I'm going to create parameter. This parameter is the thing which we will be getting from the external. So for example, without employee number, or what are the thing, for example, if you are going to create a leave request, then you will be getting the request id. So that based on the request id you will be updating the status whether it is approved or rejected. So those parameters you need to create externally from here. This is the label, you can mention a label, and what is the data type, everything you can just create it here. So like this you need to create the parameters which will be used to get the information from the external source. You need to pass externally to this workflow. Then this is a constant, this will not be changed. So these parameters can be used within your internal thing, or you can just send it this parameter to the task definition, everything. So this is creating a parameters. Then we will be creating a variables. So variable is like a changing one, you can be changing internally. To create a variable, click on this create variable, then the variable will be created. You need to reference this variable using the static id. So for example, I'm going to create a employee number or manager id. I'm going to fetch like a manager id. So this is a variable like a manager id. So this is a local variable. This will be like updated in different stages. In different stages there will be different level of managers. So those ids I will be fetching and storing in this local variable. So manager id, I will be using this manager id static id within my workflow to use that. So you need to reference this using colon. So colon is a bind variable. Using this you need to reference within your PL SQL logic. So this is the thing, like you need to create these parameters for getting the information from the external source. Then you need to use these local variables, that is workflow variables, to store, and you can update those things in the later stage. Then this is the setup. This is the overall setup. You will be creating the start, end. Then this is like a task definition. Then you will be using the switch statements, like whether you are just checking the conditions. Based on that you are just splitting or navigating to different path. Then if you want to write some PL/SQL code, like you want to insert something or update something, then you can just create a thing. You can create the type as execute code, then you can write your PL/SQL code. So likewise you can just create your components, and you can just navigate. Once it is done you need to end. It should not be like it should not be incomplete, or it should not be like breakable. You need to connect everything using this connectors. So you need to create this and you need to connect everything. In the switch we will have different types of connection, like either true means we will have one separate connector, false mean we will have different types of connector. So using this we are going to create our workflow diagram, that is a process flow we are going to create, and we are going to perform, or we are going to call this, and we are going to execute this. This is a complete overview of this workflow diagram. These are the common things we will be using frequently, and we will be designing our things. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel Tanige Solution and put a like to this video. So please share this video to our Apex community. If you want some other topics to be covered, please suggest your topic suggestion in our comment section, so that we will make a dedicated video on the particular topic. So please support us. Thank you.